Hello everybody, my name is Alan from Sauber-Lab, and if you have a server or a NAS in your home, of course you would like to access it anywhere that you are. If you're traveling or if you are just outside your home, you would like to be able to access this data. But you need to take care because you have lots of different options to make this configuration, but you need to choose the correctly one. And in this video we're going to explain a little bit more about it, what's the dangers and how you can do it in a safe way and make sure that your data is protected. If you like this idea and want to learn a little bit more about it, we're going to show in this video, but first of all, don't forget to leave your like, consider subscribe for the channel, and let's understand a little bit more about it. As I told, in this video we're gonna focus how you can access your server anywhere that you want. So if you guys come on my screen, here we're gonna focus specific for the DDNS, you're gonna focus for VPN and Tailscale. Also we're gonna explain how you can have a security external access and what you need to avoid for make sure that your data is safe and no one will have access for your data unnecessarily. First thing, let's try to understand why you would like to have external access for your server. First of thing, why you want to have a NAS. A NAS will have your data, you have different applications, you have everything in one place, and most of the time you want to be able to access outside your home. You don't need it to be locked only to access when you're in home, and this reason it's good if you're gonna do some work remotely. If you want to access your pictures, you want to access the applications that run the pictures, you want to access your documentations, or only make a backup when you're traveling. Can be backup for pictures or backup for your data and anything that you want. And you want to have these share files in a safety way. And you can use your NAS to do it. You can create a share link that you can access anywhere that you want. Also, you can have applications that will share these different views anywhere that you want. So let's tell a little bit more about the different options. First of all, let's focus for the DDNS or dynamic DNS. Basically, if you have a network provider or internet provider, they will give you or lend you an IP address. After a period of time, they will change this IP address because someone needed this one, or basically you restart your server and that's the DNS or the IP will change. And this reason you have different applications that guarantee that all the time that they refresh, you're gonna have it. One example will be, let's say, DDNS.org, that's normally used for no IP, but you can use the DocDNS as well to make sure that your IP address is always available and you can have a user-friendly IP or user-friendly website that you can direct it. Why I want to do it? You can have your IP address that will be external accessible, but once that you restart your system, they will change, and this is not ideal if you want to continue use it, or if you want to spend a few weeks outside for your house, or basically have different people to access it. But remember, if you only use these DNSs standalone, it's not safe. You have different applications, look like proxy managers, you can have Let's Encrypt, and in this way all the traffic is safe. If you only open those IP address or those ports look like the port 8 or 443, you don't have anything that will transcript or encrypt your data before sending it outside. So let's say they will not have that key in the top, because basically it's you access local, so do not generate any SSL certification, and that will not make your system safe. So have this on in mind that if you use standalone, avoid it, it's not safe. Other option that you can have will be the classic VPNs. Don't forget, this VPN is not only to change your IP address to make sure that you are, let's say, simulate that you are in another place. You can do it as well, but the main idea is to make sure that you have access for your data outside. What they're gonna do, they'll create a virtual private network, what create a tunnel, encrypted tunnel, between your user and your end user, and in this way all the data is encrypted and that's all the traffic going for only one way. And in this way, simulate that you are in your home. So if you use this local IP address, let's say 192.168.1.251, you can still use it without the need to have other port export or any proxy manager managing your proxy or your reverse proxy. One of the options that you have will be the WireGuard, that is really fast, lightweight, or the OpenVPN. WireGuard don't have necessarily all the applications that you need for all the device, but will have a large number of applications or a lots of support device or support different types of device. OpenVPN will be more options you can download for different device, Windows, Mac, iOS, Android and other things, and that create exactly the same tunnel but a little bit slow. Why I would like to do it? To access my NAS, to access cameras, to access my printer, to access my files, and basically simulate that you are in your home without being in your home. And one of the advantage for it, you only need to open one specific port, and that all the device will use this port to access it. Remember, you still need to open one port. If your network provider or if you not feel confident to open your port, this will be not the best option. This reason that we're gonna focus for the second option for VPN will be the Tailscale. Basically, it's a VPN really easy to set up, really secure, and that will connect all the device automatically. We'll have a little bit limitation if this VPN cannot do the hole punching or firewall. What it means? They will use the relay option that all the traffic will go for your house to the Tailscale server, and from Tailscale server will go for your device, what will add a little bit more latency and will restrict the speed, because of course they will not want to give all the speeds that you want, but you still be able to use for light traffic. It's great. If they manage to do the hole punch or firewall, then they will start to use a fast speed, and they will only initially do the relay between your device and your other device, and after this one they will create a directly connection, what make easy. Also, they will have different applications for different types of device. Let's say if you want to use Windows, yes, Tailscale have a support for it. Linux, Mac, Android, iOS, and that's basically open the possibility for most of types of device that you can access it. But remember, you could potentially go for a low speed if they don't manage to do the hole punch. So in other words, what you need to have in mind to have a secure system? First of all, you need to have some best practice that you need to have in mind. The first one, never open the port 8 or 443 without having any application that will manage this proxy, because they will have directly transmission of the data and no encryption, and if someone can manage to access this information, they will be able to manage all your traffic and will manage everything that's going on. So this reason I really suggest you to use VPNs or Tailscales that will create this protection or this encrypted tunnel between both users. Also, try to activate double factor authentication, because this will make sure that if someone discovers your password, they also need to discover that unique number that refresh to 30 minutes or 30 seconds, and that make really hard for someone to be able to access it. Next thing that you need to have in mind is create a strong password. Don't try to put password 123 or test 123, because it's not safe and it's really easy to break. Of course, if you start to create difficult passwords, you're gonna need a password manager and have different options that you can find in the internet, but I suggest any application that you use or any different website that you use, create a different password. If one password has been discovered, they'll not be able to access anything else, only that specific application that was discovered or was break. Also, keep all your device or your apps update. So if you use your NAS or if you use any application, try to update it very often. So OpenMediaVault, you need to update now and then. If you use Synology NAS, exactly the same, you need to update it. And for the apps, principally if you use the Docker, you can use the Watchtower, and that they will update your apps as many time as need, or at moments that has a new release, what make your system more secure. And also, if you can monitor the log for your NAS, and this will mean that if someone try to access or try to brute force your system, they will start to inform what IP address and when this happen. Also, it's interesting, principally if you use a dynamic DNS, you need to use a fail to ban, or at least try to install it. So if someone try to break your password for some amount of time or some amount of trials, they will block it, and that will not allow for that same IP address to try again to access, and this make an extra secure or an extra layer of security for you. In my opinion, if you want to keep all your data safe, try to use a VPN instead of dynamic DNS, unless you use a properly proxy reverse to protect this data. And if you want to have no setup, only simple install and play, use the Tailscale, what don't need you to do anything else. And try to avoid ports without any protection or without any application in the background, because this means that if someone tries to break or access that IP address, they will not be able to access the common port and make your system a little bit more safe. So in this way, we arrive at the end of the video. I hope that you guys like this video. If you like the video and think that was interesting, don't forget to leave a like, consider subscribe for the channel if you're not subscribed, and see you next time. Bye.